Hey, what is up, Impact Nation? Uh, this is another episode of the Anthem of Impact Wrestling show. I'm your host, Jason. Today's going to be a little quick because last night, this is the second week, or second time in 3 weeks, I get home from work and we have no cable, no internet, no phone, nothing. Cable's out. I don't know who else that might be watching this ever has Charter cable, but they suck, and I absolutely hate them. Whenever my wife and I lived on our own, we had AT&T UVerse, and actually really liked UVerse. They're just not available everywhere. My parents have Charter here at their house, which is where we're currently staying for the moment. And there's really no rhyme or reason why they were out. I mean, I have no clue. Still don't know. And it literally came back. It was at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon until like 8:30 our time here, Central Standard Time here in St. Louis. And so it came back on. I flipped over to Pop, literally just to watch the package, the video package for the main event at Slammiversary, the El Patron and Lashley, and then watch the 8-man tag. I could try to watch, and I have seen a couple things like on YouTube, the little in case you missed it. But it's kind of hard to re-engage yourself and come up with good reactions and reviews of what happened on the show. I wanted to get a video out because I missed a couple weeks before, and I really hated doing that. I wanted to get a video out, one, just to have one out, you guys can see, and also to help promote on this Sunday, I will have my own pre-show, Slammiversary pre-show. In fact, I'm going to give all my previews and predictions for Slammiversary that will be happening obviously that night. God, I hope to God, my cable is available. And hopefully it is. That is actually kind of one of my worries right now. I will be very, very upset if I order Slammiversary and all of a sudden, what the hell happened to cable and internet? One thing, it was just cable, because I could just jump on PlayStation, get on the network, and order Slammiversary there. I don't care. But it all goes out for because it's all under Charter, which sucks, But I wanted to get a video out. Like I said, kind of explain some of that stuff. As far as at least that 8-man tag goes, hey, it was okay. I think it did what it needed to do. From what I can tell, the rest of the show did a good job of really kind of making it seem like this was a setup for what we're going to see at the pay-per-view, and made it seem like a big deal because everything had a contract signing. I'm hoping eventually I'll be able to sit down and actually watch that street fight between Spud and Swoggle. From everybody on Twitter, from the looks of it, it looks like it was really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Overall, the India shows, I enjoyed them individually for what they were in a nutshell. I kind of don't like the fact that they were the last 4 shows going into the pay-per-view. One, you were limited on people you could have there. So we didn't see any of Angelina Love, any of Alicia. There was no setup for a possible X Division, like, number 1 contender site match, like an Ultimate X or whatever. It couldn't really build up with LAX. Any of that stuff. So while each individual show I did pretty much enjoy for the most part, as far as the build of the pay-per-view, it lacked a little bit, I think, of what they really could have done. Luckily, they're doing a really good job of building it up on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. They're picking stuff up there and getting me really excited. I'm super excited. I'm very pumped up for this pay-per-view. Like, I really have not been this excited and this anxious for a pay-per-view in a very long time for any company. I don't care what it was. It's been a very long time. Even for a TNA Impact pay-per-view, I haven't really been this like, oh, I can't wait. Just haven't been. I've been able to say, oh man, I can't wait. Like first Slammiversary last year, Bound for Glory. Like, yeah, sure. I was sitting there like, man, I can't wait, just because you only get 2 a year. But it's not like how I am right now. I'm very, very excited. I can't wait for Sunday to get here. So, outside of their shows, their weekly shows, which unfortunately is where you're going to get the majority of people really, where you're trying to sell most of the people on buying the pay-per-view, they're going to be doing it through the show. I know that they were handcuffed. It's what they had to do. Regardless, I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it. And by the sounds of it on Twitter, I know a lot of you guys are definitely looking forward to it. I can't wait. I haven't purchased it yet, ordered it yet, just because of the fact I want to wait and see what's going on. But that's the way it is with anything. I don't order it until the day of. There's really no need to order it 5 days before. I don't know what the point of that is. I'll just order it the day of. It's not like there's only a limited amount of viewers. So order it the day before or the day of. I plan on doing my pre-show. I plan on doing it in the morning, so hopefully around noon to 1 o'clock. Somewhere in between there, Central Time. Hopefully it'll be up on YouTube. Hey, I'm just going to kind of go all out. I'm trying to have a fun day that day. I don't have work the rest of the week. I took the whole week off. So I'm ready for it. That day, I'm going to be sitting here in front of my camera, in front of my computer, beer in hand, talking wrestling. You can't ask for anything better than that. I ask all of you to come and join me. It's not going to be a live stream. It will be a tape. It will be a video. But once it goes up, always on my Twitter, at Anthem of Impact. I'm always on there. As soon as it goes up, hit me up on that and discuss this stuff with me. Hit me up on the comments to that video down below. I'll be checking YouTube comments, and try to have a good conversation. Really have a good conversation. Get us all pumped up, ready to go. Talking Slammiversary. And then of course at the same time, I'll be live tweeting the event. So hit me up on that. Like I said, at Anthem of Impact, and it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try to have a lot of fun. I'm gonna try and make this a really big show. Sunday, my prediction show. I'm gonna try to go really in depth on why I think certain things are gonna happen, why certain people are gonna win these matches, and then I'm gonna also get into excuse me, maybe some surprises I think might happen. Because I think we're about to see a lot of things. I know he's already announced a lot of them, but there's some things brewing that I think. I think there are things that are brewing that they're keeping very under wraps that could be big time things, and then there's some other things that just from hearing, just seeing different things on Twitter and different news sites and the way people are talking. I think some other things might get spoiled a little bit, maybe the day of. I'm gonna hopefully not see any of that, but it should be good. It should be fun. One thing I want to give a big shout out to BQ from King of the Mountain podcast. Earlier today he released some audio and on Twitter tagged me in it, so I want to thank him for that. Any of my listeners that don't listen to him, he's got a channel right here on YouTube, King of the Mountain podcast. Go check him out. Always good to listen to. Always a great Impact supporter. So go and listen to him, watch him, follow him on Twitter. This video will also have him tagged in it. So just click on his name, on his Twitter name, and go check him out. And then that kind of brings me to something that I kind of want to talk about, one of my hot takes, like I've been having here sometimes on these reviews. Yesterday, looking on Twitter, saw like a big conversation about him and something like that. And I'm not going to talk for him. It just, this happened to, I see the situation, and I've seen this happen many other times before with certain people on Twitter. And just kind of, had me thinking and wanted me to just kind of vent on that situation a little bit. And it was another person that's an Impact fan, but, calling him out about also supporting like WWE or whatever. And I don't know if he really does or not. I know he's put out some sarcastic stuff, but but regardless of that, just, I have seen people like get onto other Impact fans for supporting other wrestling companies, and I don't understand that. Why can't we all just like professional wrestling? I watch the WWE. Doesn't mean I'm not as big of a Impact fan as anybody else. It just means that I like professional wrestling. I'm going to support mainly the wrestlers themselves. If they go to a different company, I'm going to watch that other company. I just like watching professional wrestling. I don't like everything WWE does. In fact, there's a lot of things I don't like. And I wish that they would get back to things they used to do, like back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like early 2000s. Like after like 2002, 2003, it went down real quick. So anywhere from like how they did things from like 97, 98 to like 02, 03. I'm fine with that, WWE. Right now, it's not terrible. They're just so up and down, and just some of the things they do and how corporate it is. Sometimes it handcuffs them, and that's what I don't like. But there's still a lot of wrestlers that I like. I mean, a ton. They have a huge roster. One thing that I don't like is how they are poaching talent. And they're coming out with certain things all the time, and it does suck. They're trying to re-monopolize wrestling like they did way back in the day whenever he started buying up all the territories. Now he's just doing it in a different way. He's plucking the best talent and throwing them on whatever show, just random shows, and that's it. And we live in such a marked type era right now in wrestling, where even all the wrestlers are marks. Oh, Triple H is talking to me? The Vince McMahon, the Triple H, oh my gosh, I watched them as kids. I gotta go work there. Instead of just making, a name for themselves and trying to make companies and just do what they love to do, then they end up there, and then some of them stay happy with it, perfectly fine and perfectly content with saying that they work in the WWE and maybe get like 2 minutes of airtime every like couple weeks. Some of them are content with that, and that's fine. But people will leave, and we have to just be okay with that. Sometimes they're doing it to actually make more money. Sometimes they're just doing it to live the dream, and we gotta be okay with that. And so me, as a professional wrestling fan, I watch everything, not as consistently. The one thing I do watch consistently, as long as my internet and my cable's not out, I'm watching Impact. If the WWE didn't have the network, I would not be purchasing their pay-per-views every month. That would not be happening. I would maybe, because pretty much I would always at least maybe do WrestleMania. Like I would maybe purchase that, and it'd have to be a really good card. But outside of that, like no, I just wouldn't. I wouldn't want to. But I'll watch their weekly show. Impact, if Impact went back to doing monthly pay-per-views, I would be buying every pay-per-view every month. That's just because that Impact is the one that I enjoy the most. I watch WWE because kind of, it's almost habit now because we have been almost our whole lives. But also because, Joe's there, Austin's there, AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, all these guys are there, Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Steen, El Generico, Tyler, all these guys are now there. And I watched them in Ring of Honor, and I watched whenever they had their random matches in Impact way back in the day. And then, the guys from Impact are there. So, I watch to support that. And I watch Ring of Honor because Ring of Honor is good too. Again, I don't watch it every week. I hardly watch it. And it has nothing to do with the talent there. They still have really good talent. It's just, it's hard to watch a show that really has no story. week to week. It's just a bunch of wrestling matches within an hour. And so I watch it sometimes just to watch it, just to keep up with it. But it's really hard to just be like, oh yeah, I got to watch every week because I don't, And here in St. Louis, it comes on like ABC at like midnight or 11 o'clock or midnight on a Saturday night. I'm not really watching it then. I just DVR it, and then sometimes I either watch it or I delete it. And then same thing with Lucha Underground. I've got 3 weeks of Lucha Underground on my DVR. I need to get caught up on. I might do that tomorrow. Might do that Sunday before Slammiversary. I don't know. But I need to get caught up on that. So I don't even watch that every week. But I'd try. I did watch Raw last week and SmackDown, or this week's Raw and SmackDown. I didn't watch the SmackDown before, but I only watched like half of Raw. And it's just half in. It just depends on what else. If I got something else better to do, I'm not watching WWE. I have not watched NXT in months. So, it's okay if we like many different things. Don't attack people because they like other companies besides Impact Wrestling. There's no point in that. I mean, it doesn't make you cooler because you only like Impact. It doesn't mean shit. To be honest with you. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that all you like is Impact Wrestling. Okay, great. Whoop-de-doo. Nobody's giving you a cookie. Nobody's giving you a trophy for that. Just like nobody's giving me a cookie or trophy for the fact that I watch all professional wrestling. So, and sometimes these little things are viewed by a lot of people on social media. These are just some of the little things that keep outsiders from wanting to watch Impact because it seems like it's, the problems that were already happening in the front office that became very public, whether fake or real, just kind of some of the bad booking decisions that had happened that people, give Impact or TNA a bad name for. And the fans, the way the fans act in the Impact Zone sometimes, the way that they would act sometimes, like whenever they be almost, kind of like the NXT crowd is now, trying to get themselves over instead of the talent, or they're dead quiet, whether real or not, whether, it's not mic'd right or mixed right or whatever the case may be. But it's the same thing here, whenever they see this shit on Twitter. Whenever it's like, they dog other people because they happen to like other stuff. Like, it just doesn't look good. So if you really do care about the company as much as you say you do, don't be going after people on Twitter because they don't only like Impact, or they're not only supporting Impact, or they happen to leave Impact to go somewhere else, or maybe just leave Impact to be done with stuff. It just doesn't look good. But anyway, I'm done ranting and raving. Tune in this Sunday. Hopefully, like I said, I'll have it up about noon to 1 Central Time. I'll be drinking a beer, talking wrestling. I hope you guys join me. Hit me up on Twitter at Anthem of Impact. Leave comments down below. If you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, I want to know. So leave comments down below. If not, I will see you guys Sunday. It will be Beer 30. It will be Slammiversary time. So until then, Impact Nation, peace.